do we want? Starmer out. When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want? Starmer out. What do we want? Illegals out. When do we want it?
Now! You can never trust a Starmer. Never trust a Starmer. Never trust a Starmer with your kids. Drunkard!
Beautiful. I do. She's so cute.
She is adorable.
She is. She's adorable.
Come here.
She's crying for her dad. Oh, she's crying for her dad.
You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. So we can get something. Oh. Women and children. You're the protector. You're the protector. You're the protector. You're the protector.
Everywhere around.
You protect them, do you?
Have them set down over there.
You protect them. Fuck you, Marcus. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, really.
Mate. It's alright.
Fuck you. Finish me. I'm okay.
What do you mean, next for me? What's the realistic for? Did he tell you?
Yeah, trouble number 2. Take me.
Please don't touch me. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm just holding the sign.
Don't drive off from our veranda. I'm getting that back in a minute.
Can you move like that? You can go down that way or that way, but you need to give us some space.
Make sure getting in the way in a minute.
You're pushing us into the road. My mum with the own stick. You know this. Because I got that stick, lads. Me son. So I hold this for me, love.
Can you move back?
Look at Ned and his stick.
So we are here today because in the last 2 or 3 months, 2 paedophiles have been arrested at this hotel. This hotel is supposed to be exclusively for families. And whilst we oppose rampant mass immigration, we do not condone or accept that single men are being housed in this hotel along with families. And not only have 2 paedophiles been arrested at this location, but it's come to light this week that one of them is not only a paedophile, but he raped a 2-year-old child, a 2-year-old baby, an innocent baby. Now, I don't care what side of this you're on, but if you want to come out here and still advocate that we continue to let these people into this country to commit crimes and then be let off and continue to stay here, then you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong, wrong, fucking wrong. And we're done with it. This country is being destroyed. Not just by the people that are coming here illegally, but the people that are advocating for it, the people that are allowing it, the people who are in the highest levels of government, and the police, and the councils, and the justice system. They are coming here and they're allowing our country to be violated and abused, and our good principles to be destroyed. It means nothing to them. But if it doesn't mean anything to us, what does that say about us? What does that say about our country and our morals and our principles and our heritage and everything that this great country was built on? If we allow this to continue, we can't. It has to end. I'm sorry, but everyone in this hotel, everyone in the Protestor Court, and everyone in every single migrant hotel and HMO needs to get sent back to where they came from, so we can send them back! Send them back! And so, I have to also say that one of the reasons why I believe this country is disappearing down the toilet is because we have strayed from God. Christianity is no longer a central part of our government. It's no longer taught in our schools. It's time for us to turn back to Christ. It's time for us to start educating our children through a biblical lens, because moral degradation, degeneracy and violent crime happen in societies where degeneracy is tolerated, and that's what we're tolerating. It's got to end. We have to turn back to God. We have to just remove demonic and satanic doctrines and religions from this country. Children are being taught about Islam in schools, but not being taught about Christianity. Your children are being taught how to wear burqas and bow to Mecca, while Muslims are raping our children, killing people in our streets, and we're told, oh, shut up, we've just been gaslit into thinking that there's nothing wrong and that it's all in our minds and we're all just racist and bigoted and prejudiced. Well, I'm done. I'm done being gaslit, browbeaten by the state and by the far left. I don't care what names you want to call me. I want to live in a civilized society. I want to live in a society where people can walk the streets and do what they want without fear of being abused by foreign invaders. I don't know what else I can say.
Me too.
You know, those people in that council in Trafford are an abomination.
Yes.
Tom Ross is an abomination.
Yes.
Conor Lamb is an abomination.
Oh, yes.
I've seen them in action. I've been to some of their council meetings, and all they do is shut down everyone that opposes what they've got to say. They promote this stuff. They try and tell everyone that we're racist, that we're wrong, because we want to maintain our heritage, our culture, and our principles that this country was built on, and they want to dismantle it bit by bit, slowly, so slowly you don't notice, and by the time you do, it's too late. And if we don't act now, it's going to be too late. We are this close to the crossroads, and if we don't stand up and say no, and if we don't get these people out of our country and secure our borders and remove these megalomaniacs from the government and the council, we're done for. So I want to thank everyone for coming out here today. This is a good turnout because we've struggled to get people out to protests. And I get it, it's cold, it's wet, it's winter, it's dark. But if we don't start standing up and saying no more, these monsters in government, they're going to keep walking all over us, they're going to keep eradicating our history, and they're going to keep selling your children's future to the highest bidder. And it would seem that at the moment, the highest bidder are some foreign invaders from some third world shithole that want to come here and take advantage of what we have built over the last 2,000 years.
Save our kids!
I'm just going to say one more thing, and that is, Christ is King! 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 Christ is King!
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Well, once again, another day's gone by, and another British child has been raped by a foreign savage. Make no mistake, we may be told over and over again by the establishment, by the politicians, by the rich, that the migrants are a problem, that we need more migration. Without it, our NHS would collapse. Well, what would you prefer? Would you prefer 20 million less people in this country? Would you prefer rape gangs sent back to their own countries? Would you prefer all the foreign crime that is currently walking around on our streets, carrying machetes, intimidating our kids, murdering our people, raping our children? You want that to walk around? You want to not be called a racist because you're scared to stand up and go, oh, you don't belong here. Not for me. I think every single one of these people should be sent home on the next plane with no apology.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Over the last 80 years, this country has seen an exponential amount of change. We have seen our own people replaced in multiple different parts of this country. You go to London, you're a minority. You go to Manchester, you're a minority. You go to Birmingham, Luton, Tower Hamlets, you're a minority. This is a disgrace and a complete betrayal of the British people. And what do these people bring? Do they bring prosper? Do they bring future for us? Well, no. Because what do we wake up and read the news? Do we see growth in our economy? Do we see peace on our streets? Do we see love with our neighbours? Of course we don't. We see bloodshed, we see gangs, we see rape, we see murder, we see a betrayal of the British people. And we never asked for it. Not a single person asked for any of these men to be housed in this hotel. Not a single person here has ever voted for any form of migration into this country. Yet year and year, we see hundreds of thousands of foreigners arrive in our country. The government gives them a passport, the government gives them a house, it gives them a phone, it gives them welfare. And we have to be told to shut up and deal with it, otherwise you're a racist, a fascist, or a Nazi. And I say I'm none of those. I'm an Englishman, and I'm proud of England. When our forefathers went off to fight in the world wars, they didn't go off to fight to foreigners to invade our land. They went off to give us a future for the British people, for the Scottish, the Welsh, the English. They weren't thinking about the rest of the globe. My great-grandfather did not help in the war, thinking that one day I will be a minority in my own country. Yet that is the reality that we quite heavily approach. It is completely a disgrace that they were lied to, and they gave their life for their country, which they thought would be inhabited by their own people. However, they were lied to. They were killed in the millions so that they could see their own country replaced. Do you think any of them would have picked up a gun and gone off to war for the country we live in now?
No!
Do you think any of them would have picked up a gun knowing that their grandkids, their great-grandkids, their great-great-grandkids would be in danger of being murdered or raped by a foreign savage?
No!
In fact, they would have revolted against our own government and overthrown it. And it's a shame that we got to this point where we are now, where we have to wait 4 years at a time for a new election by new traitors that give you promises, they lie to you, they betray you, and they continue to replace you and treat you like useful idiots. Well, we're not useful idiots. We're the British people that are going to stand up for our land. We want all the foreigners out of our country now. We need remigration. No more kids. Save the nation!
Remigration!
Save the nation!
Remigration!
Save the nation! Thank you, everybody.
What we need to do now, all of you, support every paedophile function you can.
Yeah.
Get every one of their live links shared. A group, what I know last night, apprehended a 28-year-old Iranian trying to make a 14-year-old in Shield travel from Salford. Get it shared. Share it all, a lot of them. Support Rupert One and Esther McVeigh with what they're doing. right, and so all the other bastards that are in Parliament, all 364 who voted against a national inquiry, that we ain't having it. We're going to have to look after our women and children,
Yeah.
and if it takes for us all to fucking stand up and fight against it, we will be, because we're one incident away from this country exploding. And the local police here, they're going to have a choice to make it, because this country is on a knife edge, and when it goes, it will explode.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What boys?
Everyone's getting sick of it now. People in Crowborough are getting called far right, just because they're scared of the women and kids. 500 undocumented males put in an army barracks,
Oh yeah.
right? Bust into the town to do whatever they want.
Mm.
You look at it now, it's spilling over into more affluent areas at hotels.
Yeah.
On every one of these hotels, whether it be Best Western, Britannia or whatever, right? Next time you're sitting out somewhere, you're going for a weekend away, hit them where it hurts them, in the pocket. Don't give them a fucking penny.
Yeah.
Make sure these bastards that put these cups up never get a penny off us ever again.
Yeah.
Don't put it into like a little guest house or something, a small business who needs your custom. This lot, let them go bust.
Yeah.
Let them go bust, let the managers go bust.
Well said.
About time we all come together. Yes. Every one of us comes together. Whatever your political allegiance is, we come together.
Yeah.
And try not to split the vote. Get these bastards out at local level and at national level at every opportunity you can. Because it's about our women and our kids.
Yeah.
And remember, 22 men, women and children were slaughtered at Manchester Arena. 2 Jewish people were slaughtered in Crumpsall. All families of so-called refugees, first or second generation. Guess what? It's about time now the British stood up. If you've got no papers to come into this country, do what the foreigners do. Bye. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Get me.
Yeah. Well
Support your teams and make sure you get out and travel as well as you can and support every protest what you can get to. Because now we've got to stand up. If it's a 2-year-old kid, allegedly, everyone's at risk. This is the second incident from this hotel. When's it stop?
Yeah.
Chatterton, Peter Falstein's there. Fallowfield, man masturbated out the window and the left turn up and call us all far right. Went, what are you? You're concerned parents, you're concerned residents. I've got 8 hotels within a 6-mile radius of where I live. Redbury Hall, Opperton, Northington, Fallowfield, Manchester Airport, Wilmslow, this one on the Protestor Court, and they're supposed to be opening another one at Wilmslow. That's on at Manchester Airport. Enough is enough. Let's get it done. Let's get Starmer gone, get Labour gone, and let's put some fucking fight back into the British fucking people.
Our strength!
Yes, the boys!
Ned with his long one.
I do this like that. Send them back!
Send them back!
Yes, the lads!
That's your name for Why point it in? Why did you point it in and say, yeah, but why did you point it in?
Racist!
What do you mean?
What are you going to do about it?
Are you saying that?
You're the one who said, call the police, so what are you going to do about it?
You said, why are you here? What's the difference?
Because we're protesting against
What's
the
the
rape
difference?
of a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And what's that got
That's
to
what
do
you
with
said.
the
You're
rocket?
pissed, aren't you, mate? You're pissed.
We're against illegal immigration, you fucking idiot!
We're not against that, we're the state.
You said something racist, mate.
Yeah, you did, I was there!
Well, what were you getting at?
Racist.
Explain what you were getting at when you said you were all right with us being there, but you said, and is he? What we're doing the difference?
4 times you asked me if I was going to report about this case.
Of course you have. Then what's it about?
Dirty bastard!
You won't even speak to him now. You won't even acknowledge him now.
Listen, it's about the rape of a
I
2-year-old.
will say I'm gone out. You're
Yes, that's what it's about.
Why has he got the right to be here with us?
Yes, that's what it's about.
I'm sure this guy who's at the Southwark.
You try to pick on me, and you're going away from the issue. The issue is the rape of a
pointing out you
2-year-old.
said something racist.
Yes, all right, so
The
what's that
rape
got to
is
do
about
with
the
it?
rape of a 2-year-old. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about the rape of a 2-year-old?
I'm here to oppose it. Being a racist cunt like you ain't going to help anything, is it? I don't want people like you round here.
You say don't swear at him, you're all right racist.
I'm from Peninsula, mate, but if you go to the Protestor Court, I don't want people like you there. There's no difference between him being there. There's no... Yeah, of course they have.
Yes,
So why don't you see me there then?
I've seen you at the Southwark.
No.
I'm interested in what you've said. I don't
seen
give
you
a
at the
shit
Protestor
about
Court.
your life, mate. But what I'm saying is, you pointed this man out as being different to everyone else. Why?
No, I
Why?
didn't.
Yes, you did. You got on video, so I'm not asked. I ain't give a shit, right? Because I love a good
What
one.
you
We've
did
got it on
talking
video.
to me if you don't give a
We've got it on
shit.
video. I'm just saying you're a racist
You're
cunt.
I'm not a racist.
You're a
Don't
racist
swear
cunt.
at me.
Well, I'll swear at who I want.
Racist.
I don't think that's
Purely for this video.
I'll swear at
You're all
racist.
racist standing up
I'll
for
swear at
Yeah,
racist.
but he's not allowed to swear at you.
You should be breathalyzing this man.
I know what you're saying, just stay beside
He drove in here before.
That's why online I don't say much. I don't say much.
And another one gone, and another one gone, another one price the door.
What's your idea of total remigration?
So sorry, mate. Whilst it's going to be paid, and we draw our line in the sand there, and we say this is the position we will take until the future. Go to that march, by the way. I will be there until the future of our people is secured, and there is no chance of being a minority in this country. So if we take, and I know that we know about Steve Laws, and me and Steve take the same position of everybody has to go, no exceptions, right? To the point where our people are then secure in our country, and that's what we mean by total immigration.
Okay, now for me, there's probably going to be some questions asked once this sort of whatever I'm going to say. When you're saying total remigration, now the way you're saying it, for me, is an issue. And the reason I'll explain it's an issue is my family are all Jamaican. As in my step family, okay? Now, I've been brought up by them since a young child, so that's why I class them as my family. That's why I class them as my family. So that would mean that they would, under what you're saying, they would all go back. Now, their family came here in the Windrush area. They've never really caused any issues. They've all worked extremely hard. My stepdad still works to this day, and he's past retirement age, pays all his taxes and whatnot. So heavily contributing to the country. Now, what I do agree with is when you've got people who are coming here from a different culture, like the migrants we've been seeing, and have been, whether they've been coming here legally or not, and they've been radicalising their children, second and third generation, and they have been causing issues. I understand that there has got to be a point where we've got to say, right, these people need to go. But when does it then stop? Where's the end point? Because you've got to want it to be days. Bear in mind your age. You've never lived in a time where there was no people of colour in this country. Yeah? So you wouldn't know what that experience is anyway. I'm not saying you can't want that, but you don't know what the experience would be with just a whole white country as is. Now, I also understand that people want to preserve their ethnicity, they want to preserve their race. Every other country is allowed to. Why can't we? I get that. 100% get that. But so then comes a point where you say, how far along does your remigration policy go before you say, right, stop? Do you have to be entirely white, entirely English? Because at this point, not all of us are entirely white and entirely English because we've been conquered and taken over so many times. That doesn't mean the country was built by migrants. I don't see it like that. I don't. And I do believe the English people that are still around, we were last conquered in 1066 and we've never been given any leadership back then. We've always been under hostility and occupation, if that's the word we want to use, as English people since 1066. We've never had anything back since then. Or to say remigrate everybody would be an issue.
So I'll break it down. You know what ethnogenesis is?
And I've not heard that.
Ethnogenesis is the creation of an ethnic group by multiple ethnic groups mixing over hundreds of years. So the English people, as they stand now, we are a descendant of the Angles, because in England means land of the Angles, and we do exist in mass ways. And even the ancient Britain DNA, and even Celtic DNA, it exists. I mean, a little bit of ginger in the beard, right? So it does exist.
It's and like 67% gypsy, guys.
Not that far, not that far. So it does exist.
Jew.
So it 100% Ashkenazi, no joking. So it does exist, and we are the native people. I mean, if I was to spit into a test tube, come back and it would show that I'm from here, and clearly someone like Baraka, it would say he's not from here. And like, that's an obvious difference. So with remigration, I mean, I explained this before, it's not as simple as we go around everybody up that's not English, not Scottish, not Welsh, just throw them on a plane the next day. It's a process of policy that would probably last a few decades to get these people out. So your step family that have been here since the Windrush, they're not the first priority. If it was to go forward with total remigration, they would inevitably be deported because they are not of these origins. So I don't stand by the point that mixed race people should be deported because they still have ties to the land. So what I do regarding mixed race people is I think they should be banned from any form of like public service. So you can't be a police officer, you can't be in politics especially because that's conflict of interest and those kind of dangers of it. And you put on a foreign tax. So anyone that's married to an English person, by way of marriage, they would have to stay here unless they're both get deported. So if they're then paying more tax, it disincentivize, there you go, people to want to be able to marry. Because I mean, you know my opinion, I don't believe in race mixing anyway. But it would disincentivize people that do want to do that. Now, what people don't know is parts of my family actually does have foreign mixing, which I'm not a fan of. And I would deport those parts of my family. Sorry, but it's true. Not the mixed race ones, but I would definitely deport the non-English ones.
So my sister's a safe cut, my pappy was
Pappy's going back. Pappy's going back to Reggae Land. To Reggae Land, right?
Can we keep the reggae sauce? That's all.
We got the recipe.
We've got the recipe for reggae.
This is like the very end point. What we need to focus on firstly is the amount of migration, because the Windrush generation was still a small population. However, if you want to go on about integration, a lot of these communities never actually fully integrate. For example, the Yardigans were birthed out of the Jamaican and North African integration. They were the second and third generation migrants because culture is downstream from your race, it's downstream from your ethnicity. It's why Europeans have a better time mixing with each other. So the myth of integration just doesn't work. I mean, the entire reason why even a lot of the wars in England were fought between the Scottish and the English, because different cultures attacking each other, no integration was happening there until we began to mix with one another via our genetics. That's why you had all the conquest and invasion. And what we're seeing now is our immigration policy is very, very, very different from the original immigration. The immigration of the past, as we're going on about like 1766, whatever, that was migration from small Northwest European tribes going over the Channel to conquer a land, not to be given a piece of paper and not flown over for economic ends. And we already know that economically, these people coming over, 73% of them going to low-skilled migration labour anyway, which is not economically beneficial to them. There's no point for them to be here.
I definitely don't think that anyone. So, I mean, if you look at other countries, when it comes to the current issue with migration and illegal migration, illegal or illegal actually, with other countries, you have to have a certain skill set, a certain ability. You have to have a certain amount of money to be able to sustain yourself in that country. You're not giving a handout. You have to make sure you've got enough money to fend for yourself in that country and to sell your own business. You've got to bring your skill to the country. You've got to go to that country. You can't just go there and not contribute and be a dickhead. Whereas here, we're letting people, we're paying people to come here and giving them incentives to do fuck all. They're not contributing anything. I don't think anyone should be coming here if they can't contribute anything to the country.
Well, I don't think, regardless of contributions, I don't think they should be here anyway. Because what they're actually doing, even if they're economically contributing to the country, they're replacing my people. They are taking up a spot in my country, which is inevitably going to replace my people ethnically. That is genocide. That is ethnic cleansing. Everyone goes on about ethnic cleansing. Oh, you want to remigrate people? This is ethnic cleansing. No, it's ethnic preservation. What's ethnic cleansing is unfortunately, in the last 20, 30 years since the Blair administration, it was Barbara Roche, the Jewish woman that changed the policy. Yeah, that allowed in the Eastern Europeans. Yeah, and since then, we have seen our country turn into an economic zone. I mean, if you look at our actual economy now, we've completely deindustrialized, and 80% of our economy is service-based economy. It's not beneficial, it's not helping our people. GDP per capita continues to go down, wages continue to stagnate, prices continue to increase. I mean, the cost of a Freddo is now £1. I know it sounds crazy, but if you want to keep up with that inflation-wise, you need to times wages by 100 to keep up with the cost of a Freddo.
I totally agree. Now, we in England, in Britain, we're a small island. We're a tiny ass island, and we are full to the point that we are now sinking. And in my opinion, at this very solid moment, any type of immigration, legal or illegal, should be stopped anyway, so we can deal with what's going on. Nobody should be coming in at this current moment. We are way too much for anybody to come in. I then think the criminals that come over here that are not from here, or were born here, but their family is not from here, that have done crimes, horrific. Whatever crimes, you're illegal, you've come here, you've committed a crime, you've done something wrong, get the fuck out. Do one. Shut me in, do one. Then it needs to move on to the ones who are illegal and not committing crimes. So there's no reason for you to be here, especially if you're safe countries, there's no reason for you to be here. So, the people that are coming in doing that stuff, it's like some of the ones that obviously with illegal migration, but I'm against the amount that we're doing by illegal migration, as I see it as the law for the country by illegal migration.
So how many people do you want to deport? Because I mean, you clearly do care about the ethnic country, and I don't think you want us to be a minority.
I don't want to be a minority. Like I said, every country is allowed to preserve their own ethnicity, their own culture, all types of stuff. I feel like it would be hypocritical for us to turn around and say English people can't do the same. But at the same time, you've then got to stand and say, how far back do you go in terms of your deporting? Because you could be...
Probably to the Windrush.
There you go. So he's basically saying that he wants my family to fuck off out the country. Basically to the Windrush. Before.
To the Windrush generation. So I draw the hardest line in the sand. And I say, that is my stand. Then I'm the most radical. Everyone else seems to tell us.
So that's the stand.
Everyone.
It's a troll.
No, I'm being serious.
So people from the Windrush. Yes, right.
Wait, so people from the Windrush have to leave, they can stay.
So they'll be the last ones to be deported. Okay, because you have to work it back. So major problem first and foremost. Boris wave. 1.6 million non-EU migrants imported into this country. 5 years to settle, they're about to hit it. Sorry, 10 years. It's 5 years, isn't it? 5 years settle at the minute, and they're looking to increase it. They're about to settle. That's 1.6 more foreigners about to get residency. They got to go back straight away. All foreign criminals, they got to go back straight away. All illegals, they got to go back. Then we need to start looking at so over the Tory government, they imported about 11 million long-term migrants.
Okay.
They need to go as well.
Right.
Then we need to start looking at the Blair wave, which was a lot of Eastern Europeans, because everyone likes to go, oh, so you only want to deport non-white people. No. Listen, the Europeans, there's a reason we're the Anglos and you're the Europeans. There's a reason we conquered the globe. So they would have to then go as well. Then we start looking at like the ones that have been born here and are a generations down. Because again, a lot of the problems that happen comes from this fake idea of integration. I mean, for example, look at the rape gangs. That was second, third, first generations working together.
There's no assimilation. There might be integration, but there's no assimilation there. They're not taking on our...
I know people hate me talking about this, but I'm going to give you the most obvious example that no one talks about: the Jews. Look at Prestwich. It's a Jewish area. Own police force, own schooling, own healthcare. Well, no, do they have their own way of security? Yeah.
It's a neighbourhood watch.
Yeah, but why?
Oh, we have a neighbourhood watch.
Yeah, you have a localised neighbourhood watch for your thing, but that's a specific Jewish neighbourhood watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same as me having a specialised Salford neighbourhood watch, though.
No. Because let's say the Muslims to do that entire hamlet.
They do it.
Yeah, I know.
They shouldn't be able to.
Everyone has a problem with that, and I have a problem with that. So I'm saying no exceptions. Anyone foreign should not enclave. But they enclave, they sit in their own environment, their own hospitals,
We're talking about the
schooling.
specifically, that community there.
Sure, we'll talk about the Orthodox. I mean, literally on a Sunday, they'll put up a string around determining the borders of where they can go because they're enclaving themselves, and that's not integration. And they've been here. Yeah, but why should that impact us? Because we're a Christian country.
I don't know the
podcast.
We should do.
we should be. I don't think we should be accommodating for everyone's religion.
No, I don't think we should.
I don't think we should be accommodating anything like that.
Yeah, so these people have their own homeland, right? Everyone else has got their own homeland. This is our homeland. People. And I use the example of Jews because it's the most glaringly obvious understanding of an enclave.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that if a community comes in, they create their own enclave for whatever reason, be it religious, be it ethnic reasons. They create their own segregation and sit in their own parts of town. How is that integration?
Yeah, it's not.
So they should be deported.
If they're not ethnically English, because you have ethnic English Jews, and they're perfectly fine. The problem is, you go back about 400 years for the Jews that are in Prestwich, so they are very English.
Yeah, but are they bred into English?
Yes.
There is what you described in the enclave. There is an enclave of Orthodox Jews that do segregate themselves from everyone. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
And there's also lots of English and British Jews that don't do that as well. So there's a lot of...
The problem isn't the religion, it's the ethnicity.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Because you can have fully white English that convert to Islam or Judaism or Sikhism or whatever. It's still like, it's like when like King Coney goes on about we're going to deport the native-born white British communists and Islam. I'm like,
so silly.
Like he's an idiot. However,
yeah,
of course,
the camps.
Of course, you get locked in jail, but. The difference is, it's still their homeland. So even someone that's an Ashkenazi Jew, I mean, they fought like hell. They literally attacked us during the period of the World War to get the homeland of Israel. They should be sent back there. They have their homeland. This is our homeland. I don't hate these people. I don't hate anybody. And I think people mistake my position. They think it's a position of hate. It's not a position of hate. It's a position of long-term stability for my people. You have your homeland. We have our homeland. We should live in our homelands.
I'm just not there yet, mate. Come on, let's go.
We'll get there.
Going back to the race mixing thing, though, the offspring of race mixers, they're under birth replacement rate, so you wouldn't even necessarily need to deal with them anyway.
Don't necessarily talk about... I mean, my only...
Well, for MKR's family, for example, the family that are of one ethnicity and have race mix, they're essentially not going to be breeding anymore because of their age, as Windrush generation. Yeah. So there would be no point to deport them because they will die out.
This is what I'm saying.
They're below replacement rate.
I've never, if people think I want to deport mixed race people, it's not true. I've never actually called for that.
Well, not just the mixed race, the Windrush generation that are no longer going to be breeding.
This is why I'm saying, look, in my most brazen of terms, there's no point going straight for them because by the time that remigration has got to that point,
it's the stage. Yeah, exactly.
So let's put that on.
So to like level it out so everyone can agree on a point, you don't even need to include that.
Yeah.
So it's not worth bringing up because it's a self-solving problem.
And look, if we get rid of all up until the Blair wave, that'll be majority of the problem anyway.
Yes.
And then the rest of the problem is just a slow turning point of the rest of the decade that go forward.
They'll do it themselves.
I mean, for me, it's just first things first, criminals, rapists and paedophiles gone.
It's the staged remigration.
Some paedophiles getting hung. They're not leaving.
Based.
They're not leaving.
Regardless, that needs to be. That's the
Love it.
first.
Let them swim.
I don't really. I'm not really thought so far ahead that I'm thinking about who to deport next, whatever. I just want the criminals, the paedophiles, and the rapists gone that have come in the last at least 15 years.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees it goes in stages. It's where the cutoff is.
Exactly.
And I think, honestly, we'll get to a point where the cutoff is like, we don't need to do anymore because they're going to either self-deport or they're going to be so irrelevant in the birth rate, so they'll just disappear anyway.
Why people like me and Steve exist is to put that extreme.
Yes.
So
we can have a more moderate middle.
I truly believe Rupert Lowe will be the next Prime Minister, and I will advocate for him to be the next Prime Minister, and I already have started it. I truly believe he'll be the next Prime Minister, and he will bring remigration. So it depends on the level of remigration, because if me and Steve exist on this fringe and say they've all got to go, and then we start rolling back, and let's say they roll back up until the Blair wave, well, that's a sustainable wave, and the rest of the people may just feel like they're not wanted here. I mean, half of British Muslims going to think... Exactly. A lot of remigration will come from self-deportation. I mean, look at America. A lot of people that are deporting, they're deporting themselves.
Hundreds of thousands of self-deported.
So remigration will happen if it's by us rounding people up or it's by themselves. Look, anybody out there that might not like my position because you're foreign or whatnot, my advice to you is just deport yourself. We don't want to have to use our resources on you. I don't hate you. You've got your own homeland. Go live in it and go build it up. That's how it should be. All the Somalians sending money back home, just go work back home. Stop doing it here.
Another rape victim, maybe.
Alright, doors open, Dan, come on. Let's go in.
Child rapists in there and they're getting...
Right, quick spin, dirty bastard.
Wow.
I need a room for them.